We've really learnt a lot through this program that can be applied in other places. So the things that I think are standout are, first of all, you have to have, the community has to want to make a difference. They have to want to make a change in the amount of Blackberry that's in their area, and they need to drive any process. So it's no good of it being suggested by a DPI or anyone else. They need to drive that. We've been well supported, not with any particular funding, but because we've had the opportunity to apply for some grants and we've been successful in getting them, that has made a lot of difference to the way we've been able to proceed. The project manager is absolutely, the choice of project manager and the skills that that person has, it can't be overstated how important that is.
My primary role is to do Blackberry landholder inspections, and we look at a whole range of things on inspection. The most often what we do is just have a conversation. We're having a talk about the program, we're having a talk about the problem, why it got to where it got to. So we're trying to break down, get beyond that it's just a Blackberry problem. We're trying to move into areas of cause and effect, I guess. Once we get that far, it might take a couple of hours and 3 or 4 cup of teas, but once you've got that far, you can then start working on how do we get around this problem, how we start planning for the future. So I guess amongst other things, I map the infestations, I look at other impacting influences on the site itself and the Blackberry problem itself. I do all the paperwork, the whole administration side of things, as well as the inspection. But my most important role is really getting the landholder to open up, to engage, and really let me know why the problem got the way it did and how do we fix it. Management contract wise, once I meet with the landholder, we've looked at the infestation and we've decided that they would consider being on a management contract to commit themselves to seeing me over the next 3 years, and to people don't get funding from the group or won't be awarded any funding unless they're on a management contract, so that's an extra sort of little bump in that direction. But I do have landholders that are on management contracts that receive no funding, so it's the fact that they like the idea of me returning in the 3 years just to see how they're going. The management contract itself is borne up as we're during the site visit across the table. I've got a portable printer and a laptop that I type into, so it's fresh in both our minds after coming in for the inspection. On the first page details the block of where the management contract relates to. And the second page is year 1 controls that have to be met by the landholder in year 1, year 2 and year 3, and then the third page is a map of the infestation, which I've done in the field with them previously. You never are going to be able to say this is how we're going to deal with every individual landholder. It just doesn't work like that. There's so many different facets of the problem and reasons for why the problem got the way it did. You need to break that down. You need to find, well, what can I use to motivate this landholder? And in some cases it's a small amount of money, others it's just the simple fact that I leave some extension materials with them, or we go out and we kick a bit of dust and we have a look at the problem firsthand and just have a talk, have a yarn, pass on what I can pass on, compare notes, and promise to come back and see them next season. So it's not all about the money, and it's not all about having the threat of a sticko waving over their heads. It's more the fact that they know I'm local. I might not be local to that area, but I'm local to the region. I'm hanging in there for 3 years, probably 3+ years, and I'm not conscribing them to do exactly A, B and C. I think for the sake of the program, the flexibility is great. the longevity of knowing that I'm going to be there for 3 growing seasons or 3 spraying seasons. It gives me the ability to be able to plan ahead with this landholder.
Because if we don't focus on this bit and do it properly, then we're wasting our time. So we face the challenge of not running out of, burning out maybe. With blackberries there's no real quick fix, is there? Like it's if you've got a bad blackberry infestation, from our experience here, it's been and when we brought this property in 20 years ago, it was very badly infested with blackberries. And it took us 10 years to really get to a stage where we thought we were on top of them. And we still find that it's a major problem every year because of the infestation of seed from other areas. So unless we eradicate them from the local area, the problem doesn't get any less. It gets to a certain stage, but then doesn't get any less because you've always got that seed infestation. If you could get rid of that from maybe a 10-kilometre radius around you, you could say, well, maybe I could get back to just spending 2 days a year spraying blackberries instead of 3 weeks a year. So if everybody does something, then the seed base will be lessened and the infestation of blackberry will be lessened, but it's got to come from everybody. And whether we map them or how many little maps we put out with little red dots all over them is really secondary. We won't kill any blackberries by covering them with reports or paper things. We need to spray them to kill them.
It's the fact that it's been community born, community led and driven, and it is all those things. It is flexible. It has money behind it. It has longevity, and it has a really motivated team of people in that part of the world that are dedicated to seeing something that is a really scathing issue turned around for the good of the district.